Hello and welcome to the Mega Blood Moon podcast. This week it's the FBI versus the CIA, and the boys desperately try to figure out how to make this conflict work within the confines of our rule system. Listen in and find out how we came to a conclusion, an ending, at least a plot.
The rules are simple. Number 1, your script must be 70 to 90 pages. Number 2, the minute you type "the end," your script is done. Number 3, your budget is whatever you have in your pockets, so write accordingly. And number 4, the moon must explode at some point during the movie. Welcome to the big stupid party.
Does somebody have the list up?
I do have the list up.
Okay, beautiful. I'm going to roll a 1d45 right now. We're just going to let these ships fall. Actually, you know what? Hold on. No, fuck it. 27. The highest number. Actually, 23.
24 is the highest number.
24. Oh, shit.
What is it? 24 or 27?
It's 27.
Oh, okay. This is
Janis Joplin died.
CIA versus FBI.
That's not one of my titles.
Not one of mine.
Yeah, I think it's mine, but I don't remember it.
Well,
no, I want to say it was basically that a conflict between the CIA and FBI
No way.
causes the destruction of the moon.
Really thought you were going to stop it. I think it's a conflict between the CIA and the FBI.
all right.
No shit.
No, I'm just going to put this out there before we go any further. Have you seen Operation Endgame?
I have not.
Okay. That's going to make this so much easier on my end, because you won't even
Be able to refute.
Operation
I'll be like, I think it's from.
Unless he still accidentally, gets Operation Endgame.
Yeah. See,
I haven't
that's the
seen it
problem.
either, and if I have, I don't remember it.
Okay. All right.
Is this a Silent Tony episode? Or are you just going to be
All right.
shepherding us away from
well,
Operation Endgame?
Yeah, this is unfortunately brings me to the second question: is have you seen Ballistic X versus Sever?
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, yeah.
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay. It's gonna make this harder. Oh,
Zach, you
okay.
independently arrived at a different idea.
No. That's not the problem.
Let me
At
have
all.
this joke. It's a good joke.
I'm taking your jokes away. I mean, luckily for us, nobody watched Ballistic X versus Sever. I think it's the biggest bomb in Antonio Banderas' career, so we're fine there. And Operation Endgame, if I recall, was a bomb as well. Which
Yeah,
is
I
just a
don't-
comedy version of Ballistic X versus Sever.
Gotcha.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, as long as we don't make it explicitly about them killing each other in clever ways in a shared office space, I think we're fine.
Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't the idea.
All right.
Okay, but hear me out. What if they killed each other in creative ways in a shared
Like-
office space?
Will it be darkly humorous or humorously dark?
Ooh, it'll be dark with an edge of humor.
You already sold me. Now I'm thinking about we're gonna have Zach Galifianakis as the weird wild card one who doesn't show up until 2/3 of the way in.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we're gonna bring Jeffrey Tambor back from the dead. Or is he still alive?
That's a good question.
Current.
Regardless,
Above.
massive sex pest.
Oh, is he?
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
maybe
that,
that's-
I think his career is dead. I'm not sure if he is.
That might have been why I thought he was dead, because I hadn't seen him in anything for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in fact still alive, as it turns out.
Yes, he most definitely is.
Yeah,
Okay.
he might as well be dead, but looking at his career. And...
Yeah. I know, well, but, like,
No, he's only 6'1". I always thought he was taller.
It's a weird takeaway from the sex pest conversation.
well, I mean, dude, everybody in Hollywood's short, right?
No,
Except
I
for
mean, there.
some tall people.
Yeah,
I don't know how it
there's
works.
tall people.
I don't know how it works. The tallest person in Los Angeles, in my mind, was
24 inches tall.
LeBron James.
I mean,
You're sweating bullets, arms pressed against your desk. The tallest person in LeBron James.
Well, here's the
LeBron
thing.
James.
I know intrinsically that there are people on his team taller than him.
yes.
But
yeah.
like, if somebody just asked me who the tallest person in LA is, I would, without a hesitation, have said LeBron James.
He's a monstrous man, but yeah,
But
there's
who's
definitely...
the biggest measured diagonally in Los Angeles? That's the real question.
Well, probably Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal's the real answer because he still lives there, right? He's got that mansion that he drove like fucking 4-wheelers around in on MTV Cribs.
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know if he still lives here. Probably, he might. You know, I think he finished out his career here, so he probably has most of his ties here. But I don't know.
Yeah, but what if there's a guy who's built like a trapezoid?
Maybe Triangle Man.
Yeah, like, imagine the diagonal on him. A
Hell of a
parallelogram.
diagonal.
A really cocked askew, like Clive Owen.
I would say like someone on like My 600 Pound Life or something, right? Like, I mean, theoretically,
Do any of those people live in LA though?
I'm sure somewhere nearby.
I
just
always
wondering where
imagine
Shaq
that
lives
taking
now.
like they just find someone in Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's a lot of it, but I think if you went up the 5 away, you might find somebody.
But that's not LA anymore. You'd have to go
No,
up.
I'm kidding.
I just
Everyone
don't.
in
It's
Los
weird
Angeles
that
is healthy, right?
I figured you'd know the neighborhoods around here. Hey, cocaine is vegan.
Really? That's where Shaq lives? Sorry. I was
Tony's on a Star Tour.
Yeah. While you guys were talking, I was going through my own personal "Where's Jackie Chan at right now?" With Shaq, and the answer
Interesting.
is
You're tracking
Dallas.
Shaq?
Dude, Shaq trackers.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah,
Shaq
It's like a
tracker.
tornado chaser crew.
Yeah.
They keep
It's
pulling
like
out new
following the dead,
devices
but
to measure
stalkier.
Yeah.
Hey, we know
Well,
Shaq is
yeah.
traveling through this direction, so we're gonna try and go up these farmers' roads.
Yeah. Oh, I follow Shaq and the McRib.
Coincidentally, same tour.
I've never seen how. Hey, have you noticed how you never see Shaq and a McRib in the same room at the same time?
Oh.
McRib
I'm
by
loving
day,
it.
Steel by night.
Ooh,
Oof.
ooh.
I thought that was a fun one. I actually liked Steel when I was a kid.
That was great. People's
I feel like it
opinions
was-
on movies no longer. I don't care about them anymore. If I like a movie, I like a movie, and I refuse to elaborate.
Yeah. There's a Superman storyline that
What?
Yeah.
has basically Steel.
Yeah, no, that's what Steel's based
is
off
a
of.
DC Comics character.
Yeah, it was after the death of Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
John Henry Irons.
Yeah.
1995? I want to say it was introduced before that, though.
Well, they introduced
Yeah,
a
that's-
couple before.
Yeah,
the
that's
death
when
of
that's when he
Superman.
got his suit, because before that he was a dude who worked on other people's suits. If you know
Other
what I'm
people's
saying.
what?
Other people's like superhero suits.
Oh.
He was like
Gotcha.
Edna Mode in the whatchamacallit.
Quick pitch. The CIA is tracking international terrorists. They fuck up an investigation, wind up letting them escape, and then they take up residence in the U.S. and start doing things locally. And then the FBI starts investigating them, causing the FBI and the CIA to fight over jurisdictions. The idea being that
like
the person
that.
is basically a madman is holding the moon hostage, I guess. I think that might actually be in another one of the lists, but
Well, what if he just joins the
Um,
FBI? We play him as a bit more inept.
Well, yeah, no. You have him. No, he turns state's evidence for the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in
He's a
FBI
protected witness.
custody.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that. I think this is all good. Now, important question when it comes to writing anything about the CIA and the FBI: pre or post 9/11?
During.
not during.
You guys always miss the opportunity that there is a window of time where they were operating during 9/11.
You're not wrong. But that's not what I was
Just
thinking.
feel like that'd be a big wrench in the works for all of them, being like, we gotta test this. Ah, fuck! We gotta still catch this guy.
But just when it comes to how you,
It's why they
approach-
didn't get Osama bin Laden. They were chasing this other guy.
There was Osama bin Laden at the airport, and they run right by him.
They were like, "There's much more at stake than the World Trade Center at this point."
Look, it's already gone.
What I'm saying is that makes it pre 9/11 technically.
Oh, Building 7 was actually blown up by this guy.
Oh no, that's post 9/11. See,
That's,
we got on the side just
that's
'cause-
during 9/11.
That is during 9/11.
Yeah.
Seems like the cards are falling into Benny's hands.
Well, I mean, the thing is that didn't Building 7 fall after, so it's technically.
Oh
after
yeah,
9/11.
and they're just running into like red tape after red tape, trying to like track people and do stuff, and it actually this is the cause for the Freedom Act.
They
well,
tell
see,
one of their
that's why-
interns to go stop people
Yeah.
from getting in, and he runs outside, and it's just firemen, and he's like, I can't let you in there. And the firemen are like,
Yeah.
no, we're going in.
No, that's why I ask if it's pre or post 9/11, because how those two agencies interacted drastically changed over the course of like a week in September of 2001.
Well, that kind of begs the question: how serious are we taking their operating procedure? Because it feels
Yeah.
like in a
I just kind of
movie
pictured
called
like the FBI
CIA
was kind of a
versus
cowboy-like
FBI.
character, and the CIA guy was a little more of a nerdy folk kind of guy.
Nerdy guy with a plate carrier being flown into
Well,
Fallujah.
See, the problem is that pre 9/11, they're both cowboys just in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, in every sense of the word. And honestly, even in the weeks after, because what? They sent the horse soldiers in with Operation Jawbreaker, like a week or two later into Afghanistan? Because the whole country had folded by December.
I mean, I just kind of pictured, like, the FBI guy being super patriotic and, very much for the cause of America, and then the CIA guy being jaded and, thinking of things on more of a global scale, globalist versus
It sounds like
isolationist. It's very
we
topical.
are setting this in the 90s, is what I'm hearing out of you, which is fantastic, because
Let's do it. Let's
not
make it-
everybody's gonna have
90s
cell phone.
period piece.
yeah.
It kind of sounds like
time-
you're doing a bit of a Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Kid.
A little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of that in there.
No reason not to. All right, so we have the CIA is investigating. We need a good name. I think.
Baxter
Think about our
Crumb.
enemies in the 90s.
Well, no, yeah, that's why I
The
immediately
American,
was like,
in quotation, enemies in the 90s.
yeah. Well, that's why I was trying to figure out the best Slavic name to give him.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Borscht
Well, because
Mansky.
you think about it, right? If this guy's blowing up the moon, is he using conventional means or is he using magical means? Because if he's like a Baltic black magician,
It's Rasputin.
I was just about to say it's
yes.
Rasputin.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the CIA knows
Alright.
that Rasputin is
Yes.
still alive and has been tracking
Okay.
him.
So you guys realized where I was going as I was going there. I'm glad.
now we're getting into Hellboy territory, I think. But
It's the
sounds
90s.
Well, no. Rasputin, you can just be the sobriquet. That's just his name, like Carlos the Jackal.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like he doesn't have to actually be Viktor Ilyanovich Rasputin. He can just be Rasputin.
Yeah.
Like that's what they call him because he's a Russian-sounding black magician. And it'd be good because that's a CIA code name, right? Like where are you on the
Sure.
Rasputin investigation?
Where's Rasputin right now?
Yeah.
Hey, even more condescending, just like, oh, where's our Rasputin? Could also, like, a layer to that could be that they don't believe that he's magic.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree
that's
with you
true.
there.
But the FBI guy absolutely believes he's magic.
Yeah, because the FBI guy has seen some shit. This
Or
would
the
be a killer
FBI
Delta
guy
Green
has belief,
scenario
and
once
the
we're done
CIA
with it.
guy is like, no, obviously he's not magic.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, or even fitting in with the cynic, it's like magic or not, we gotta kill him.
Yeah. All right. He's mad at USA, RE, Kosovo.
He's mad at
Enough.
USA, RE, Kosovo, parentheses, tariffs.
Oh.
You said topical, we can make it topical.
Yeah.
We can also make it tropical. This
true.
all takes place in the Maldives.
And he's mad about Cuba.
Why isn't there more of it?
What do you
That
mean
island
more
was
of it?
supposed to
There
keep
could be
growing.
more. We don't control that. A classic American pig dog thinking.
I will blow up moon and make rock land to make Cuba big.
Cuba too. Tuba.
Tuba.
It translates to something different in Russian. But tuba, yeah, you get it.
It's just look at the Russian dictionary. Just a picture of a cat.
Kochka?
All right. Is that a word for cat?
Is it not?
What's it translate into Russian? Just it's like an egg beater, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
I could be wrong. I think that's right, though.
I won't fact check you on that. In fact,
Yeah, I'm not gonna-
even if you're wrong, I don't care.
Yeah, see, I'm the type of guy who knows Rasputin's full name but doesn't know how to say the word cat in Russian.
I
can take
didn't know
from that what I
Rasputin's full
give.
name, and I don't know Russian. Zach, you could tell me anything in the world about Russian
Yeah.
language.
I know
I'll just believe
Svechik
you.
Gleb is fresh bread.
Why not?
I know what kvass is.
I know,
That's
like,
previously established.
Anglitsky is how they say English.
This
let's
is
see.
doing great because we've been doing good
Привет.
numbers in Russia recently, so just keep going. They're gonna love this shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Sukobliat and Bushmoy.
When I was a kid, I was a camp counselor, and we had a kid from Russia come who was being adopted, but they wanted to, like, normalize him with American kids for a second before that. And it was really interesting, so I had to learn some basic Russian to communicate with this kid. And he was from Siberia. And it was intense. There were, like, times where he would hide from planes, and he loved to play, like, you know, quote-unquote guns. He'd pick up sticks and, like, use them like guns all the time. It's just kind of like, this is really weird.
Did you try hitting him?
No, but he did try hitting me several times.
Yeah, see that you should have
And,
established
one
dominance.
time he actually locked me in a cabin and threw some logs through the windows at me.
This kid sounds
No.
awesome.
Yeah, I know,
We
it was
call
pretty
that- we
intense.
call
It was
that,
pretty. It was yeah. I was impressed, to say the least.
That's actually known as an Irkutsk hello.
A Kamchatka salute.
No, that'd be if it was.
Flaming logs. So what
it's
if
Koshka is, or Kot is male cat, I guess. But
so what
Koshka
if
is
the
female cat.
the FBI who believes that the guy is magic, what if our Rasputin character manages to like psychically or magically take over the CIA to start that conflict where the
He has
CIA is
possessed
now
the
acting
head of
on the
CIA?
behalf of Rasputin, and the FBI need to stop both them and Rasputin, but no one knows that the CIA has been taken over.
I like it. What if it's like fallen, and it's a possessive spirit that's moving from person to person within the agency.
Oh, he's astral projecting his consciousness through the agency.
Yeah, there you go. That works too.
Just on the same note of like, okay, how is he possessing this? Does it like he conjures a spirit, or he's personally taking them over?
I think we start with the CIA raids his compound and thinks they've killed him.
Ooh, I like that. So they think they've
And
killed
then-
him, but really he's just possessed one of their members.
He's possessed one of the, yeah, he's like transferred himself to one of them and then moves through the agency up the ladder to the head.
Love that.
But then he wouldn't need to be in protective custody because he'd already have control of the agency, so you don't need the FBI. You know what I mean?
What if he was raided because he fled to America to do something, and he was in protective custody? And the guy who believes in magic is like, no, this isn't right. He's not really dead.
I think we could do this more simply with a classic, take this out of Saddam's playbook. Body double.
That's kind of fun too.
So the CIA swears that they've killed him,
Yeah.
but there he still is.
He survives, makes it to America. He can still astrally project and fuck with the CIA that way, but he has the added benefit of when he's doing that, the FBI is protecting him.
See, that, but the CIA killed a tulpa instead of actually killing him. That's how he was able to control them.
Yeah. Whatever. That's like a body double, but magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the idea, was that his body may have been destroyed, but he is still...
I think we had, I think just to make it work with the protective custody angle, which if you want to drop it, that's fine. I think we need to have his body because...
Well,
I mean, he
that's
could just
why
be
we
in
have the
protective
FBI.
custody in his jail cell and then like start meditating, and he's just in a catatonic state or whatever. He doesn't have to be dead.
Right, so
well, because that could be
so,
part of it is, what if he's two places at once, the raid happens, but the FBI is like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have him.
Oh, there you go.
See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have that conflict, because I like the possession angle, but I think not starting off, but like we have to establish him as being somewhere else before, and I don't know why it makes it more believable to me, but it does.
Well, because we need
I
a conflict
apologize.
we need to make sure that that conflict is set up. So if it's something like they just raid a compound and he starts possessing the CIA, how does the FBI get involved in that?
Right, Whereas if he's already in FBI protective custody, they raid what they think is his empty compound, he's actually there, quote unquote, but it's a manifestation or a tulpa of him.
Because
They
he
killed
turned
that.
himself
So they think
into the
it's a body
FBI without the CIA knowing. And then the raid happens and they get word.
Yes.
And they're like, what?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, who are you?
But maybe when he's killed in the maybe maybe there's some sort of damage he takes in the cell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking like he gets killed there, and then like he has a minor nosebleed, but doesn't move from his position. Still,
That'd actually be a fucking sick shot if you see whatever's in being raided like get shot through the shoulder, and then it cuts to him in the cell, and you just see the wound go. Pff.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool if he was in like a white, celly jumpsuit kind of deal, and like you just see like wounds appear as it happens in the fight.
Yeah. I'm down with that. See, in my head, I'm just going to come out here and say this. The FBI has him on what we like to call the Raymond Reddington playbook, which means that they got him, and they're pulling him for information, but they haven't told anybody that they got him, right? So the CIA is running the op to take him out, and the raid happens, he gets wounded, and the CIA has their press conference where like, yeah, we fucking killed Rasputin, we went over there, we did that, we stopped the terrorism. And then FBI guy goes like, gets that on his 90s computer and is like, what the fuck are they talking about? Goes downstairs, sees he's still in his cell, but he's bleeding now. Great idea. I like where you guys went with that. Is that a yes? I was just trying to clarify.
Oh, I'm just writing this down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to take the notes.
All right. I had to break it down into terms that my brain could understand, which was Raymond Reddington.
Yeah, see, I was about to make a comment of we can't talk too much more about Raymond Reddington because then I'm going to default to my favorite game on earth, which is how can I make this thing better by inserting Raymond Reddington.
There isn't a single thing made by
No, we
human
can't. We
hands.
can't start playing the game
Okay.
because that's going to go on
right.
for hours.
Homestar Runner. I said it.
What are you
Well,
doing in
Senior Card Mage is
Strongmania?
actually a close associate of mine. I remember our days in the Maldives where we would go and pick freshly cooked lobsters because when the sun would hit that water just right, they'd boil in their shells.
I happen to notice that there's no official diplomat for Strongbadia. I would love to throw my hat in the service of that department.
Zach, have you ever seen The Blacklist?
No, I have not. I'm not a
You should
James Spader guy.
You should.
You're not?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we can
What-
stop this recording right now.
Yeah, we can. Like I thought you were cool, and then you just said you weren't a James Spader guy.
I
could
respected
also
you
use the
as a man
bathroom,
and a
so
lover.
If I have to go, it's fine.
It's just like we spent so many nights holding each other in sweet, sweaty embrace, and now I learned that you're a diseased mind individual, and that's sad. Sad to hear.
Yeah, I don't
You're
know.
a filthy man who
What did
abused
good
me.
acting ever do to you?
It just seems so affected. Like it just seems that it's very much the same
Yeah.
every
It's awesome.
time, and I don't know that he has the charisma to carry the same thing every
he
time.
does.
Like a
That's where you're wrong.
yeah.
He's oozes charisma.
I'm gonna lie awake
There's
at night
just
wondering who hurt you.
he has smug face.
Yes.
I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just has smug
that's the
face.
bit.
You should really watch The Blacklist because all those things you just said make make The Blacklist great.
Just make it just like. Whew. And I'm not one to praise network television ever since they canceled Law and Order the first time. I'm still not over that. I know they brought it back. It's not as good. But The Blacklist it's lightning in a bottle.
You get to play this game from now on called How Can I Put Raymond Reddington into Anything? And it becomes incredible.
Like,
Okay.
I also want to
You'll
stress this.
understand
You
one day,
are
maybe.
wrong. I want to make sure you know that you're wrong
Yeah.
for your
Yeah,
opinion.
no, I get it. I get it.
Do you, though? Because you don't seem to be changing your opinion to the correct one.
I will need more evidence for the argument, but
Yeah, you would say that.
Ben, find the clip of him when he puts himself up for auction.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell Zach how a kangaroo court works. You're guilty. Before you even came here, you've been guilty. Change your ways. Thank you.
All right.
Yay! Consensus.
James Spader's the best.
You can call him Jimmy. Jimmy Spades.
It
Yeah,
didn't
we
sound
may want to
like
back
a
that one up.
First off, that didn't sound genuine. Second off, it didn't sound genuine.
Certainly not genuine.
And I need you to ride that pony. And by that I mean watch The Blacklist. But it's fine, we'll move on. That's one of my patented genuine metaphors. Nobody else can make those. Those are mine.
All right,
If you
so
do it out in the
my
wild,
thought
you
here
do owe me
is
money.
like the FBI picks up this guy on a Friday in America,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of disseminating the information to the CIA, decides not to until Monday. And over the weekend, the CIA gets a tip, and they go to find, to capture Rasputin.
They raid his compound. I think he should turn himself in though, because this is all part of his plan, right? So he turns himself in to get protected custody.
Like walks in.
See, no, that's the blacklist again. You're right. They got it. The FBI just takes him down and doesn't tell anybody because they want to pump him for information.
I think it's partially that it's Friday and they want to go home, and partially that they're like, "Fuck the CIA. Those guys suck anyways."
Yeah, no, I know. I agree with you.
Well, there definitely still needs to be something fishy with the pickup. Where even the FBI is like, this was a little too easy.
Yeah, no, I think it's difficult for them to get into whatever place it is, but once they get in, he's just waiting there.
Maybe not even that. Maybe he just checks into a hotel using his actual ID.
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense.
And one of the fucking desk clerks is like, this dude's on the FBI's most wanted list. Calls them, they pick him up. He doesn't resist, like you said. I like that.
Yeah, they just kick open the door and he's just sitting on the bed.
Yeah, gentlemen, it took you a long time, but I'm glad you're here. Now I'm speaking Raymond Reddington in my head. I tainted myself.
Dude, imagine having the wrong opinion about James Spader.
We can't talk about Spader.
Yeah, defend
Spader's
yourself.
now a forbidden topic.
I don't think he says anything. I think he is absolutely silent.
Yeah, he just puts his hands up.
Yeah, he just puts his hands behind his head and kneels down.
Yeah.
Hell, he even just sits there on the edge of the bed and they just walk up and arrest him. He just doesn't move.
Yeah, I just figured he makes it explicit, even easier for them to cuff him or something. But that actually, if he just sits there and is just kind of already in slight vegetative state.
Either a slight vegetative state or they get up close to him and they're get on the ground and he just takes his hands and puts them out in front of him in the cuff me kind of way.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a word.
But I also don't mind that maybe he is in that moment doing something via astral projection.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good point.
Oh, yeah, he's putting the finishing touches on that compound that the CIA is going to raid.
Exactly, yeah, he's over there setting shit up for them.
Yeah.
Oh, and it could be his double, turns off. Or goes into the same meditative state when he wakes up.
Yeah, as soon as he wakes up, it's just, either that or it is another person. It'd be interesting if it was he's possessing someone and it also makes them look like him or has that ability somehow.
There's this movie.
Well, that would So then you so let's follow that. I like this. So you follow that line. So he possesses somebody and makes them look like him, right? So they break into the compound, shoot him in the head. They put him in a body bag. He gets kicked out of that form back to his actual form, which is in the FBI holding cell, right? So when they go back to ID him later, it's a different guy.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, that it's a different body afterwards. I thought maybe instantly would be interesting, like a transformation kind of thing to see, but at the same time, I think, A, expensive, B, it would be better if it was just it looked like him, body bag, and then once they open the body bag at the morgue or they pull the drawer out or something, it's not him.
Yeah.
And they take a fucking Polaroid as proof of death, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they go to, when the dude, opens up the body bag later, he's looking down at the guy. He's like, bring me that fucking Polaroid. He brings it over, and it's actually the dead Rasputin, but looking down is the different body.
But with the same injuries as in the Polaroid.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Maybe not as bad, but...
Well, I think it needs to be pretty mirrored.
No. It should be the exact same injuries that he got killed by. Not the one who's in the FBI doesn't have the bad damage, right? He's just bleeding from wherever he got shot, but it's not like he actually got shot.
Yes,
But the
yes,
body
that's what I
that
was
they
saying.
had
Sorry,
in
I
the
thought you
body
were
bag.
saying it was
Yeah.
reflected on him. No. When they open
No,
the
I
body
got
bag,
you.
yes, it does have,
Yeah.
of course, the same wounds. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. I was just helping clarify that.
Yeah, just so that they're like this absolutely is the person you shot when you shot that person. It
Yeah.
matches your the bullet matches your
Yeah.
gun. The blah 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 blah. It
Yeah,
has
exactly.
to be-
They pull the fucking they pull the slug out, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "This is the fucking picture I took. Look at the picture I took."
Like they even take prints of the dead body, and the prints
Yeah.
on the body they have now aren't the same prints that they took at the scene.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
it's complete magic. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Rasputin is meditating when the FBI arrives, or in a transient state.
Yep. He's setting up his compound. CIA raids it. He's in custody of the FBI, but nobody's talked to anybody because it's the 90s, and those agencies didn't like each other back then. And then we have the raid on the compound. They shoot the tulpa in the head. They take proof of death in form of fingerprints and like a Polaroid. Get the body back to CIA Black Site Alpha 0 November. Open it up. Different guy. They're freaking out. Meanwhile, FBI guys like, why are you bleeding? That's as far as we've got.
FBI guy's like, why are you bleeding? They hear the news. That FBI guy is already maybe their paranormal guy, or at least he is kind of the guy that is sent in for all the weirdo cases. And so he immediately starts to suspect what
he's
might
from
be happening.
What's that thing called? Mindhunter. He's from the behavioral science unit.
I'm picturing the investigator from Frighteners.
Jeffrey Combs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the incredibly neurotic.
Fuck yes!
Wait, hold on. You tell me that you like Jeffrey Combs, but you don't know. I can't. We're not bringing up Spader
We
anymore.
can't do it.
Yeah.
He's
I
just,
will not hear of this.
It is a
Spider-Man.
new onion layer of wrong to Zach. It's pretty beautiful, actually. I didn't know you could close wrong within a thicker layer of wrong. It's
Yes.
It's admirable if it weren't wrong.
Yeah, I'm doubling down on wrong, I guess. But
What do you mean you guess? We're telling you explicitly. You don't need to guess anymore. Two people who are right are telling you that you are wrong. Mark down listening skills as another con.
Yeah, I've been
What is this
pretending.
list
to be
you're
listening
always
this whole
talking
time.
about?
Oh, now that Zach is dead to me because of his opinion, I'm making a pros and cons list.
It's not gonna make the slideshow, Ben.
It's not making the slideshow.
It's not making the slideshow. Specifically, you in this instance, you're not making this. This is not slideshow worthy material. I want you to apologize to the listeners.
No.
All right.
In fact,
I'm gonna put
to our German listeners,
Oh no, our German listeners stopped listening, is what I figured out. We've picked up Russians, so I don't know how to interpret that.
to our Russian listeners, well, yeah, to our Russian listeners, if you know the blacklist, please visit megabloodmoon.com and go to our contact form on the podcast page so that we can have new languages to be mad at Zach in.
Love it. Yes.
To that one guy in Ghana who keeps randomly downloading 1 or 2 episodes at a time, just know you're loved.
We God bless you.
God bless you.
Yeah. True. So far, back to the script.
Yes.
Friday.
So Friday
CIA.
he's picked up.
Friday, the CIA gets word of this guy being in. Where are we saying? Russia? Is it Moscow? Where are they going?
No, Balkans.
Balkans. Somewhere
Because
Serbia,
in a
Moldova.
Europe, in the Balkans. Somewhere cheap.
somewhere south of Sarajevo. In a
uh,
compound.
In a compound, yes. So, small compound south of Sarajevo. They get word of this, and at the same time, the FBI captures Rasputin in America. And
At like a New York City hotel.
I'm thinking
he went to the Waldorf.
okay, yeah, make it big and public. That makes sense. So
Yeah.
they can't do anything to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. They can't rough him up or anything. Like, they just, like... And that's why they have an actual attentive front desk person who would know, like, I've seen this guy before on the most wanted list.
Yeah.
Because those are the only places where anybody would bother to do their job and inform somebody if a criminal entered their building. Not, say, a random McDonald's employee in the Midwest who certainly
It's Pennsylvania,
was the person
right?
who...
It's not even the Midwest.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's
it's a great place to have a patsy, is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
Hey,
say
what's up?
at an American hotel. I don't know if the Astoria is.
Oh no, yeah, I was just using that as
Okay, yeah.
as like a reference point.
Gotcha.
We do not have enough money to shoot at the Waldorf Astoria.
No, certainly not. So fancy.
Also, I think
American
it's
hotel.
currently closed for renovations. They were like tearing that shit down to build it back up.
That's sad.
Put a
But
bed
the
in front of a
rooms were
screen. Put a bed in front of a
desperately
green
needed,
screen,
though.
and then find a stock photo of the Astoria. Got it.
Yes. Thank you. That is what I'm talking about.
I might be able to find some mini DV footage of inside the Astoria from when I was like 17.
That'd be fucking dope.
That would be hilarious to have it like a 4K shot with 360p mini TV footage as the green screen playing.
No, that's on the security monitor. That's the security monitor footage.
Yeah,
there you go.
you're gonna
There
have to
you go.
justify that based on the angle of the footage, because if this
Yeah,
is Zach
definitely-
Hines height, that's not
Definitely
security
don't think
camera.
I was doing security cam angles, but
You can pull the con as long as the con's pullable.
I don't even know if I actually recorded in the hotel, if I'm being honest. I don't remember a lot about that trip. I think I did Angel Dust. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So it's the angle from outside on the street, and you just hear him being arrested inside. And then we just put a security cam tag on the footage anyways, even though it's clearly you walking around.
Just asking people if you want to get wet.
So he gets picked up in the hotel. The assassination happens. The body swap is completed, and then our FBI guy starts putting two and two together ish in that jail cell after seeing the wounds on his body and the fact that he's so complicit.
Okay, and this is what's happening concurrently with the raid in...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So raid happens. Guy goes in to interrogate him. Notices the blood. Maybe during the interrogation, somebody walks in and hands him like a CIA press release, being like, "We got him."
Oh, that could be one of the big things, is that he is starting to get words out of him. Maybe he comes back into his body mid-interrogation. And then another guy starts pounding on the door like, "No, we need to talk now." So pulls him aside and like, "Well, what the fuck are you interrupting this for? We're getting this guy to crack." And then he hands him the CIA dossier, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I got this piece of paper right here from the U.S. government stamped CIA that says you're fucking dead, but you're sitting across from me right here in this interrogation room, bleeding out of your fucking head. Explain that. All right, so we've done this intro for the past hour, so all we have to do is the rest of the movie.
We're getting there.
So, Friday, FBI captures him. Saturday, basically we show the FBI capturing him and the CIA learning about his presence in another place. Saturday, we've got the raid and the wounds appearing on Rasputin as he meditates. And the FBI guy starting to piece it together.
No, the FBI guy comes in to interrogate him. Probably they have him in here. How about we do it like this? They have him in the interrogation room, and he's catatonic, more or less.
Yeah, they
So
get him in
he's-
there. He's like bleeding. He's
Yeah.
catatonic.
I think he starts bleeding in that room.
No, that's what I
He's
was
still
trying to
bleeding.
say.
Sorry, yes, he's still bleeding. He starts.
No, like the wounds appear while
Yeah,
he's being
he's
interrogated.
catatonic in the interrogation room because he's astrally projecting into the raid.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
So while
happening
he's-
concurrently
yeah,
while
so
he's
while
being
he's-
interrogated. Okay.
Yeah.
So he
'Cause then you
snaps
could-
awake when he dies, when the
Yeah.
other Rasputin is killed.
Right. And you can do a fun thing where like he's catatonic and the dude's asking him a bunch of questions, so he goes back behind the one-way mirror, right? He's talking to his supervisor, and you can show in the background the wound starting to appear on him as they're having a conversation and not looking at him.
See, I like the idea of the wound starting while he's in the cell, just in the, in a meditation pose.
Maybe that's like when
And then they, like that starts happening, and then they start dragging him in. So it's all happening concurrently, but it just has to be timed out slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it works. It works any 2 ways, 3 ways, any 3 ways we can work this out.
Trying to work out a 3-way.
Always.
Not with that attitude of James Spader.
Why do you think I started this show?
Oh God.
There's already 2 in LA. Just got to get the 3rd.
I was into it, and then you said some things about a man I respect and admire as an actor, and now.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Giants, we're gonna flatten your dick.
Oh no.
Put it in a sandwich press. Give you a paninis.
So Sunday, the FBI calls to gloat.
Well, I think not.
No,
gloat.
sorry.
I think
the
they
CIA calls
immediately.
the FBI to gloat.
I think yes. I think the FBI immediately goes like, no. We need to figure out what's happening before we get them involved because this is fucked.
Oh, they continue to.
I think the
FBI,
CIA definitely calls them to gloat, and they're like, haha, yeah. They intentionally keep the fact that they have him from the CIA. Now that they have the information of the CIA killing him, they're like, okay, no, we need to figure out what's going on here first before we even think about involving another department, because that's going to be a mess, especially if the CIA learns about this.
Yeah, they're going to come in and try and take it away from us, essentially. Jurisdictional dispute.
Yeah, so they do the same thing the CIA did. So you get a fun parallel there where they fingerprint him, and they're like, no, this is him. And maybe... Actually, yeah, hold on, that works. When did CODIS come along? The
1986. I don't know. Don't trust that number.
well, no, I'm saying like, so right, the CIA calls it gloat. They don't want to. The FBI doesn't want to do anything because it's a jurisdictional nightmare, but they decide to run his prints to double check that this is actually him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so they put
I
that
think...
through the database, and that's what gets somebody at the CIA notices that a random office in the middle of nowhere, FBI or wherever we say this is, popped his fingerprints into the database for a search, and they're like, "What the fuck?" So now they think something is up.
That's when they go check the body.
They fingerprint him at the scene. They do everything they need to do there. They get his, so that they can prove it's him, whatnot. Then they take him back to the site, and he's stored in a freezer. And then...
Oh no, I'm talking about the FBI. So the CIA has already run all of those prints and everything, and then they have that whole reveal. But meanwhile, the FBI, after getting the CIA thing, and then they're gloating, they're like, print him again, make sure we have who we think we have. So they run the analysis of their captive, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the interrogation's going on or whatever, that trips something at the CIA where they're like, why the fuck are Rasputin's fingerprints getting logged in from an FBI field office in Dallas?
That's what prompts them to go check the body.
Right.
Cool.
Because it could be that
they would get
inputting
to it on Monday. That like Monday morning they would open up the body bag and be like, "Oh shit!" I didn't necessarily think that they needed to be alerted to it, but
well, I think it could do a cool sequence where they're printing him, they get it logged in. The CIA, thinking that they confirmed the kill, waited on it, go to log his prints, and see that they've been logged just before them, and they're like, "Wait, what the fuck? This was logged by the FBI. What the hell's going on here? Apparently he's in this area. Well, who do we have?" Go down, look at the body, it's not him, and they're like, "Wait, what is happening?"
okay. Does this happen on Sunday or Monday? That's really all
I honestly have not been keeping track of when the days happen. Just been writing down the order
So
of
it was
events.
it was Friday, Saturday.
Saturday's the raid.
Yeah, Saturday's the raid.
So I think
Sundays
it happens...
they call the gloat.
Yeah. So the FBI put in the shit on Saturday.
They probably put it in on like
Just
late
because the
Sunday.
FBI already had custody of him, so theoretically
Yeah.
they would have noticed it back then. That's why I think it's a weird thing. Unless they're I guess they could be
they were keeping it under wraps.
They're trying to fingerprint him.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was saying
They're
initially. Is that
rechecking
they
his
the FBI goes in, is like the CIA just called us and told them that they have this dude dead. Fingerprint him again.
Gotcha.
Like maybe he used super glue or something and falsified his prints, and we got the wrong guy.
Yeah, check his fingers for anything, see if he's clean, and print him again.
Yeah. And actually run this one through the database because they didn't follow procedure initially.
Oh yeah, they didn't have to because he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. Like they called him based on visual identification, and he didn't resist, and checked him with his actual ID, so they didn't need to fingerprint him because they'd already established his identity
With witnesses.
So that's when then they run his prints. CIA gets triggered, so they decide to send some special agents. Special agents, FBI. What do they call them in the CIA?
Spooks.
Operatives.
Jack Ryan shadow recruits.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
The Six. They send in all of Rainbow Six. Ding Chavez is there, and he will shoot a gun in a plane again, even though every book that he does it, he says, I shouldn't shoot this gun in a plane, and proceeds to shoot a gun in a plane. That's a personal gripe I have with Tom Clancy novels. Nobody else needs to have it.
Welcome
I
back
have
to
never read
Tony
Tom Clancy
Delmonte's
novels.
Problems with Tom Clancy novels.
I've read them all. Don't worry about it.
I believe it.
There's a character who's constantly like, I shouldn't shoot a gun in a plane because of explosive decompression, and immediately shoots guns in planes.
I mean, with the suits going to the FBI office, this could be where we get our first major friction, because the CIA could be like, no, we can arrest you right now for interrupting our investigation. Which could be how
I'll have
he
you
gets
in an
closer to the
offshore black site
CIA
in
and is
15
able to...
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this can open the door for him to be taken by the CIA and then to influence a CIA member.
It's actually even better than that. The CIA can't take them. Because they, technically, according to their charter, can't do any judicial acts on U.S. soil. That all changed post 9/11, but pre 9/11, they literally were legally barred. So they have to try to strong arm them. Then the FBI guy can be like, you can't do shit. You can't take my investigation away from me. What authority do you have?
I think really easily the CIA could just go, we don't care.
Oh yeah, but like I think that gives you like a good like starting talking point.
Well, I mean,
That's
you could
fair.
also start to involve other agencies. You could have CIA lean on Interpol to try and get him brought back out of the country. You could
Every time we have an ATF agent, their safety's off, so when they put their gun in their holster, it shoots their foot.
That would be funny. Yeah. I thought about bringing in the NSA.
I was gonna say with ATF.
Oh, at least we could
they
use
accidentally shoot a dog.
It's every time the ATF is on screen, they shoot a dog.
that. Maybe that's what happened. Is the CIA involves the NSA against the FBI in order to try and get custody of him.
Like, I know what you mean, but it does sound like a divorce when it's like, we need custody of him.
No, that's true.
I think the way we should do this is that the FBI is playing everything more or less by the book, and the CIA obviously is not. Right?
Yeah.
Can we agree there?
Yep.
I mean, we
the
kind of
CIA
need one of them to be the hero of the
I mean,
story.
basically, like the CIA guy, they feel as though they're above American law in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Not actually. I don't know about the real organization, but yes, this man.
Well, let me tell you something about having read a lot of history. You are correct, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Like, here's my standpoint. Neither of these organizations are good people, but we need one
No.
of them to be good people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just that the FBI is following the book, and the Jeffrey Combs, for lack of a better name for our FBI special agent, is like, no, he's our prisoner. He's in protective custody. If you want to talk to him, come back with a warrant.
I mean, eventually we have to get NASA involved
Yeah.
because of the moon.
The moon.
Yeah.
We haven't even. Shit, man. We're an hour and a half into this. We haven't talked about how he's going to blow up the moon.
We can
Fuck.
leave it at magic right now.
And we're leaving it at magic. Is he? The other question is, my thought is they accidentally caused the moon to explode. Maybe he is trying to stop someone from blowing up the moon.
Ooh, that's a fun twist.
He's actually the good guy, but they don't understand that.
Because one of the bad guys is within either NASA or the CIA. So
Yes.
he's trying to get to them before they can do what they're going to do, and them trying to stop him is just going to fuck up his plan to actually save the world, leading to whoever is the bad guy. I'm going to go ahead and just say the director of NASA being
Sure.
an occultist of something. The director of NASA committing to blowing up the moon and blowing up the moon.
Yep.
So they fail at the end.
Yes. Yeah. The CIA and the FBI fail to prevent the moon from exploding because of their misunderstanding. And because they're like, we discovered fucking magic.
Yeah. That's another big part of this, is them going
they're just
magic
like,
is
what
real,
the
turns out.
Yeah.
God, part of me wants this now to be set in the fucking 60s so that we could have some Operation Paperclip ass head of NASA being like, yeah, well, we blow up the moon.
Yeah, just some former Nazi just...
Yep.
I think it could just be a protege of an Operation Paperclip. Or just an Operation Paperclip. A couple of them were around for a while.
It's true. They were for a long time.
Figure you were 30. No, figure he was 30 in 1940, 50 years, 80. Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the son of a Nazi.
Yeah. A
also
protege, a son, or just one of them. It's a bad guy.
So bad guy.
One of those super occulty Nazis.
Yes, exactly.
Sebastian Helt, HELDT.
Ooh.
I'm
Like,
just gonna write bad
chair
NASA
of
next to
NASA and former member of the Thule Society.
I think just member of the Thule Society.
Yeah.
I said it earlier, but man, this fucking Delta Green scenario we're writing right now is gonna kick hard.
Oh, it's great.
I'm only gonna have to change like 3 words.
Thule, Thule.
Yep. It was a German occult society that many high-ranking members of the Nazi Party were a part of. It was originally founded by Madame Helena Blavatsky back in the early 1910s, after she claimed to have gone to the Himalayas and learned secrets from the hidden masters.
Fun.
Not to mention, had to be distanced from the other high-ranking members of the Nazis, namely Adolf Hitler, because she was a little too extreme.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she literally like. Even Hitler was like, I'm gonna disavow secret magic societies specifically because I don't want anybody mentioning me and Blavatsky together again.
I just imagine her. She's just a little bit of an overbearing personality, and he was just like, I can't deal with it.
Also possible.
She was a bit of a firebrand.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a fan.
Also, great con artist.
Yeah. So good of a con
And-
artist that she made a career, an additional career, out of exposing other German occult con artists.
Yeah. While doing stage magic, it's pretty incredible.
Okay, so
Not in the cool sense, in the like, how does she have any credibility?
oh shit. Have you ever seen Invincible, the Werner Herzog film?
Yes.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
Yes.
Yeah. CIA looks at the body and discovers that it's not him. What's next?
Yeah, because that's after. So that's when they had one of their nerds like send like forwards up being like the FBI fucking ran these prints. Like those prints that you guys say you took off of that guy that are now different. Those original prints. The FBI ran them at their field office. Go send a couple of suits out to Plano, Texas. That's a placeholder location. To the field office, the FBI field office there, and have them figure out what the fuck is going on.
Tumbleweed, New Mexico.
And then, so you have the CIA suits show up. They immediately get in an argument because they're pushy about getting it. They're like, just let him talk to him. Like, he's our witness, or he's our prisoner.
He's our cadaver.
Yeah, no. Any individual that you actually, it could even, don't even admit it. They just say, any individual that you want to speak to, you come back here with a warrant, and I'd be glad to let you talk to him. But as it stands right now, you are operating on U.S. soil, and we both know that you can't do that without a damn good reason.
Yeah, I just have immediately start judicial fight.
Yep. And so then the FBI agent goes back in there and is like, why the fuck do I have the CIA screaming down my neck right now? Calling for your head. What are you up to? Why are you here?
And then he can say some prophetic shit.
You didn't fight us when we arrested you. You started bleeding. They think you're fucking dead. And now they know you're here. What's going on?
And then he hits him with some mysterious, because doom reigns.
Yeah. Some creepy ass, a fearsome wizard ass shit.
Just it has been told, or it was foretold, or just, yeah.
The skies will turn red before the
I'm
shower
merely fulfilling the
comes.
prophecy.
A rain of blood. From a lacerated sky.
Well, no, he's trying to prevent the prophecy. So.
Keeping me in chains is what will cause the blood rain from the sky.
And that's, I think they come in, they have that conversation, and that's what we established. This is Sunday, right? This is all this part's all happening on Sunday, right?
Monday, because all the other
maybe
stuff
it's
was
Monday morning when the suits show up.
Okay, so yeah, so the suits show up. They have that confrontation on Monday morning. Then he goes back in there to try to get more information. And you know how sometimes you can see the moon during daylight?
Yeah.
It
It's
starts
red.
to turn red.
Yeah, that was what I thought too. Man,
Yep.
same.
Alright, so moon turns red. Yeah, and then you can see it outside the window in the interrogation room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the FBI agent having the interrogation is like, you won't even look at me while I'm trying to get information out of you. How are you being cooperative at all? And then the Rasputin's just like, look outside. You get the take of him turning his head to the left, blood red moon, and the sun.
hits them with a we are running out of time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. There is no time for this, or yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I feel like whenever he speaks prophetically, it is we, not me.
Yeah. Oh, our time is running out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's trying to, I'm trying to help you, kind of thing, in some way. Maybe not directly saying that, but.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying with the we talk, is that he's never directly being like, all of his actions that he wants to take are we actions. So he's always including them, because he's like, no, you need to help me, because this is for us.
This is the royal we, if you will.
The transcontinental we. The Union Pacific we.
All right. So that's leads us to the CIA is going to send in a jawbreaker team to bust them out, right?
Yeah.
Because we got to show them bad. So they're immediately going like, fuck it, we'll send in some goons. But as they're going to do that, they're having the briefing, right? the CIA is like, well, the FBI isn't going to play ball with us, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I mean,
So
but what if
you
they
have
in transit? What if it's they try and hit them in transit, or do you think it is they bust into the jail?
I think you bust into the jail because that gives you an excuse to have the FBI guy take him in a car out of there, and then when you're in the when they're together, he can explain how they're going to prevent the moon from blowing up. But when they're planning the raid on the FBI, somebody's like, "Why is this dude from NASA here?" It's like, well, there's weird. He's been associated with weird astrological phenomena, so he's here more as a courtesy to the agency.
Okay,
That's
so the NASA guy is at the initial.
No, he's at the CIA when they're planning to after the suits have failed to strong arm them, and they're deciding instead they're just gonna go in there and black bag them out of the FBI's custody. There's a NASA guy there.
The NASA
That
guy
way you can establish that.
is an
And
expert
he's
in
the
a
one-
lot of what Rasputin was doing, like a
Yeah.
doctorate, and he can work as a translator since Rasputin doesn't speak English, or at least speaks very broken English. Hence, all of his prophecy is a little hard to understand in terms of teamwork.
No, but that would make it harder for him to actually explain what they're doing in the car. I think you just have him in there with the CIA guy, well, like whoever's the head of that briefing, just being like, it's more of a courtesy, if anything. But really, they both, as in the CIA, whoever is actually the head CIA guy who's quote unquote planning this raid, is actually more or less under the gun from the NASA guy to do this, right? He's the actual puppet master, while it looks like the dude from the CIA is.
It's hard for me to make the connection as to why the NASA guy should be there if it weren't for a specific reason.
Yeah, the specific reason is that Rasputin's been associated with astronom. How do you say that?
Astronomy or
Astrological?
astrological?
Astrological phenomena. Does NASA have people with guns? It's a Space Force now. It's easy for other Does the Postal Service have people with guns? Yes. Does the IRS have people with guns? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does NASA? They must.
I mean, it just feels like he would be back at the CIA base, waiting.
Right.
there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's there while they're planning. The
Oh,
raid
I
on
thought
the
you
FBI.
meant like he was in the car going with them, and I was like, that doesn't
No.
make any fucking sense.
No. We have a scene of them planning the raid on the FBI, and the NASA guy's there as a quote unquote courtesy. Because he's been collaborating with them on using his obsession with astrological phenomena to narrow down what areas of the world he might be hiding in, because he always talks about specific constellations. So the NASA guy is there to be like, if he's talking about this at this degree to his followers using that, his code that he uses with his followers is all fucking constellation based.
Okay.
Think about it.
I was thinking about, what if he only speaks to this one FBI guy, and what if it's telepathic? If that's too much, we don't have to do that. Sounds like too much. Not a big deal.
No, I'm just
I'm thinking over how that would work with interrogation scenes. Because whoever's watching behind the one-way mirror would be like, he's not even speaking to you. No, I'm getting good information out of him. You've just been staring at each other for 20 fucking minutes.
Yeah, no, I think eventually they would go back and look at the tapes, and they're like, what? He didn't actually say any of that. We have no audio.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But,
Yeah.
basically, he'd just have his head down, hair hanging at the
Yeah, so
interrogation. You can't
so
really
they
see
can't.
if he's speaking or not. The
Yeah.
guy just comes out, and he's just like, okay, great, blah, 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 blah. And
Well,
then
so then
they're
if,
like,
if
really?
we would go that way, then the best reveal would be when he's looking at the blood moon, turns, mouth doesn't move, just words come out directly, just we don't have time.
Yeah.
That would have to be the
I think-
reveal
I
of the
think-
psychic.
You were ready to throw it away. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, good.
Sometimes you gotta think out how it will flow and where to go, because where do we go from here? So the CIA plans.
I mean, maybe
Yeah,
if
so
he speaks out loud, he only speaks in Russian, but he's able to communicate with this guy.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. NASA guy sits in. So the CIA sends in their kill team. In the FBI agent immediately realizes what's happening, because why else would this be happening? Like, he just pissed off people from the CIA, and now a bunch of people are kicking down their doors and not taking any questions while they gun down FBI agents.
That was what
maybe
I was
they're
like
using rubber bullets, maybe they aren't.
On the ride up, we see the CIA guys prepping, and one of them goes like, "Look, if you got to take a shot, take a shot. Just make sure there's a gun in their hand by the time we leave."
Yeah. So he grabs Rasputin. They hop into whatever car we can shoot on budget. Hop into means of conveyance.
Now he says shoot on budget. What the fuck?
Yeah, see, I'm learning. None of my suggestions have been costly in this one.
Yes, they have.
Shut up.
Okay, so Agent and Rasputin escape.
Yep. And now we can make it like a fun little road trip.
It's a nice little road movie for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that could be how FBI guy learns that he uses star signs, because he might have followers in America, and he communicates in that code to them, and that leads them to like one of his safe houses.
He's got a Substack.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's got a pocket ham radio.
He's got a zine.
He has a Flipper 2.0.
It's the 90s. It's much simpler than that. People had police scanners, so he picks up he just grabs the radio.
Ham radio.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So they're forced to use cultist safe house, and that's where he more or less lays out the whole spiel, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's our dump.
Info dump about NASA moon explosion. If we can, while they're driving, we could have like them flipping through like radio broadcasts and people being like, odd meteorological. The moon is and just like every channel, they're all the news channels. They're just talking about bizarrely red moon, blah blah blah. Nobody had this on their calendar.
If you're a Sagittarius, here's something to look out for with the blood moon.
Yeah. Unexpected blah 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 blah. As you turn the dial, that's the blah blah blah. I guess it was static back then. All right. So they get to the info dump. Now, did the CIA trail them to this, and do we get another gunfight with the cultists and the CIA, or do we immediately go into them planning on how to break into, I guess, Cape Canaveral? Actually, no. If we set this in Texas, it's fucking Houston. What are we talking about?
Again, hilarious that you said this was in scope.
Yeah, it's
what?
That's fairly close, right? Plano.
Yeah. No, yeah. If we have it be the CIA field office in Dallas, because Dallas is at that point of time had nice hotels and was a big enough city that they grab him there.
I was going to say that this is a strike team that hits the cultists that's led by the Thule Society guy It's made up of CIA agents, but it's not directly associated with the CIA. So now they're dealing with directly the Thule Society guy. And that
Yeah,
gives
actually,
us their
I think
first-
you have no CIA guys. I think you having it be the NASA guy we saw earlier, and a bunch of his cultists actually makes it better, because he knows he was he was listening to the radio too, and he knows the constellation code.
Yep. There it is.
And what do you mean this is in scope? Yeah, to establish its Houston Space Command, you show random office building stock footage and go NASA Houston Command.
You gotta pay for
in
that.
the Chiron. You gotta pay for what?
Stock footage.
No, you shoot yourself of a random office building.
All right, so now we're out of
Then it's
scope.
not stock footage.
That is not stock
What?
footage. That's secondary photography.
That's called B-roll.
Yeah, Los Angeles has no office buildings that you can just shoot a footage of the outside of?
Not really. No, you got to get permits.
Yeah, not without paying for it. I mean, unless we do it handheld.
In which case, not gonna look great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could use the gimbal.
Man, fuck it, man. I know people who own office buildings. I'll just ask them and shoot the B-roll myself in this scenario where we're making this movie.
We're just playing with you. This thing has already gotten, there's a
Oh,
lot
it's been
scope
out of
to
scope.
it. We're in different countries at times.
Yeah, but we're not.
Yeah, Plano to
we're-
Houston,
it's
I
not-
think we can make work.
We have more
Yeah,
than
hold
4
on.
actors.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You don't have to be in another country to say it's another country.
No, but you do need a
Especially
separate
if it's
location.
Especially if it's a cult compound. And we're going to reuse that set for the second cult compound that they flee to anyways.
So we need a set for a cult compound.
Gotta pay for that.
We need an interior of a room that looks like it could be a cult compound.
Okay, so we need a location for a cult compound.
How are you expecting to shoot this without having a room?
How are you expecting to shoot
shoot
this
it.
on a very small budget?
How are we shooting any of this on a small budget?
That's what we're saying. It's out of
We
scope.
haven't
It's been
expected
out
to
of
shoot
scope.
any of these yet.
I still think we can do the Legend of 3 Mile Island budget.
Come on. Selma fit, probably.
We can get the actor.
Yep.
Shooting him is
Yeah.
going to be another
That's what I'm
thing,
saying.
but we can get the actor.
The prosthetics are going to be the hard part.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the multiple fights.
And the overtime that the actor will incur because of the prosthetics.
And the on-location shooting.
Yep. Yep.
I was clearly joking. And none of you
Tony, it's fine. You don't know what a reasonable scope is. That's part of what makes this fun.
It's so much fun.
I don't understand why the outside of an office building is a stumbling block.
We know you don't understand a lot of things, but let's get back to the plot.
There are
No,
so
that's
many
why it's funny for me to make such a big deal about it, because it is one of the smallest possible things that we've talked about so far that would be expensive and or difficult. It's just funny.
That's the funniest part.
Yeah. No, no, you're not wrong. It would be the easiest thing that we've talked about so far. I'm sorry, Tony. Uh-oh.
You still there, bud?
Yeah. Oh, did he
Are
rage
the
quit?
NASA cult? What? No, I'm trying to figure out more plot. I've given up on YouTube.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, so it uses the ham radio to communicate. NASA monitors his frequency. Where are we now? They're on their way to. Now on
Yeah,
their
so
way
they
to.
yeah they escape the cult compound and now they have to go to Houston. We have to go to Houston? Oh, we have a problem. We're keeping bad lines in. Fuck you guys.
Zach, I thought that was the other character responding to the character who says that. Just, we have to go to Houston. Looks at the gas gauge that are almost empty. Well, we have a problem. And then the other guy.
Yeah, he was meant to be included, but.
All right. So.
Well, that you could have like a fun little friendly moment of them filling up gas, and him like Rasputin having a Snickers for the first time.
Such a decadent piece of sweet could only be fit for an American palate.
Puh. You don't like it?
Nougat, caramel, and chocolate?
This tastes like diabetes.
Nougat, caramel, chocolate, and you insult the very plant by putting peanut in here.
This is not chocolate. What is this?
Eats it. I would like 3 more.
Why is it so phallic?
Why are you all with hand-holding rods? What is obsession in America with penis?
Yeah.
FBI guy, that's a hell of a way to take that. I think that reveals a bit more about you than it does us.
Okay, so then
I think Rasputin might be a little homophobic.
A little homophobic or deeply closeted.
I mean, it was the style at the time.
It was.
So AJ and Rasputin are headed to NASA. Yes, Houston.
Yeah, they're in Houston. So they need to get in the door. So classic. Oh, this is all right.
Rasputin sits on the FBI guy's shoulders, and they have a big trench coat.
No, I mean no. Hold on, no. Fuck, I had an actual thought-out response, and then you decided to big trench coat.
And he hands him the FBI guy's badge, and then the FBI guy pokes through, and the receptionist is like, "Oh, okay," and hands them back the badge, and they walk in.
No.
What was your better idea? I think you had a much better idea than mine.
Yeah, he gives him one of the FBI fucking windbreakers that they always wear,
Hell yeah.
and one of the hats with a big FBI on it.
And there's a moment at the gas station, or not at the gas station, or beforehand, where they have an argument where it's like, dude, you gotta shave your beard. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not shaving my beard. It's part of my religion. And he's like, all right, well, it's gonna be really hard to get you in there looking like Shaggy Dog.
Yeah, I can't get you past reception at Houston looking like that and wearing that.
Does he just change form?
Oh, he could.
Yeah,
we already
maybe at
know
that
he can
point.
swap bodies. What if he takes main guy's body?
The FBI guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could just take Agent's body, yeah.
But then what happens to the FBI guy?
Well,
Does he end up in Rasputin's body? No, we already established that the double is subsumed, right?
Maybe
It's like-
maybe Rasputin is trying to get into the NASA guy's body initially. Maybe he's not trying to leave the compound the second time.
Oh yeah, and he has to drag him out.
Yeah, and he gets dragged
Yeah.
out by the FBI guy, and then that's when he's just like, I can't deal with you, and takes his body.
yeah, I think that's great. You're working too slow.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But then we lose a character.
That's true.
I think he can come back. I think something could happen to Rasputin, and then what's-his-face's consciousness just comes back into him, and he doesn't know what the fuck is happening, being arrested in NASA.
I mean, maybe it's just a thing, the guy goes, all right, so where do we need to go? And then Rasputin just, touches him and takes over and drives.
That makes sense. It does make sense. I know it sounded facetious when I said it
That makes sense.
because it's magic, but in the logic of the story, that does make
does
sense.
Yeah,
That
you
makes
just see,
sense.
like, I'm just picturing, like, a two-shot in the car, and he reaches over and touches the guy, and then Rasputin just passes out, and
Yeah.
the guy kind of, like, cracks his neck a little bit, like, you know, settles into a seat, and then
Looks at
drives
his
away.
hand and flexes it, and then puts it back on the wheel and speeds up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, but I think we have to have both of them going into NASA.
Why?
Yeah, no, he'll wake up in the
when they
parking
get
lot.
there. Yeah. Because we're gonna need two people.
Yeah, I mean, basically, maybe if he says where he thinks he needs to go, he's like, you would have said no.
Yeah.
If I told you what we had to do, you would have said no.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so they bluff their way in using FBI credentials. And since... Oh, no. Never mind. He can't speak English. We can't have him be like... He like, this is our FBI expert on astrological phenomena. I can keep using that term because I got nothing else. Space shit.
What if...
This is our FBI space shit guy.
What if, just because we've established already that he can swap bodies and do magic, what if he just, like, grabs the FBI guy by the hand and then starts speaking English? Like, he's basically using the FBI agent as a Google Translate in real time.
It'd be a neat trick.
Yeah.
I mean, he could just... Couldn't they just be like, he doesn't speak English? And
Where's
he
the
just
fun in
speaks
that?
to him in Russian or something?
Or just only... I don't know why I'm overcomplicating this. Just the FBI guy just blusters his way through. Being like, this is one of my squints. He's with me. We have to talk to X person. Sir, we have a name for it. We have to talk to Sebastian Helt now.
It's a matter of national security.
Yeah, well, not even that. It's a matter of an active investigation. You're a civilian agency. Step aside. All right, and meanwhile, Sebastian Helt is, do we say, in the bottom of the Houston station, doing a blood ritual of sorts? How oogly boogly do we want to go with this?
What if aides try to stop them from going in? They break their way in. At first, everything seems normal. Until Sebastian Helt recognizes Rasputin, and in leading them to what they think is his office to talk, he brings them to a ritual chamber.
Yeah, it works. I don't think we even have to have them. I think they can still bluff their way in. They're trying to break, his office door is locked, so they're trying to break into his office, and somebody comes in and is like, "What are you doing?" And he tries to pull the active investigation thing again, but then you see you see Hel round the corner behind them and say, and clock Rasputin and be like, "Gentlemen, please, I have many things to do. Follow me. Don't worry about them. They're with me."
Why does he clock
Yeah.
Rasputin then?
Well, he clocks as in like recognizes him,
got
not
it.
actually.
Thought you meant he just walks up, decks him, and is like, "Boys, come with me."
Yeah, no.
I see,
I meant English is a very illustrative language where things can mean many things. In this instance, clock can mean many things, but I wanted the word recognize.
Nah, I get you. So they follow him to his office. Is this, are we going with kind of the bait and switch angle, or is he just full blown, "I'm the devil"? Because we could have like a James Bond style thing where they, before the actual ritual room is explored, Sebastian talks a bunch about like, oh, this current iteration of the moon, where it is, it fascinates me so much. Do you know what happened the last time this moon was discovered or seen in the sky? And then he lists some horrific event that happened in history.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, in that case, he could round the corner, notice them, and be like, "Oh, gentlemen, I apologize for locking my office. Come in." And then they go and have that talk in his office, and then armed goons come through the office door.
So he gives them the
And then
monologue and hits like the fucking silent alarm button, and then the goons come.
100%. Yep. And you get the quick shot of him as he's talking, like just brushing the button underneath the desk, like a little broop.
Okay.
Yeah, and then his armed goons.
So Helt stops the guard from removing them initially.
Yeah, because his office door is locked, so they decide to immediately break in.
Gotcha.
Or Rasputin decides to immediately break in.
Right, and they break in, and then the guard comes while they're in there, and is going to have them removed, and then Helt shows up.
Walks in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks in the door.
So he should probably also, when the goons come in, one of the CIA guys should be with them.
Oh, I think it's actually two of the guys. Yeah, one of the guys from like the planning room, and then one of the guys from the team that stormed the FBI initially.
There it is.
That way you get two CIAs for the price of one. Actually, you will have to pay both actors. So for the price of two, you get two CIAs.
You got for the price of two things, you get two things.
It's not a BOGO. It's a go. Okay.
So they obviously get captured, and I don't know how we lead up to this, but I think it'd be great if somehow during the capture, Rasputin pulls the body swap trick again, either on our main guy to try and get him to either escape or do something, or on one of the CIA guys.
No, I think I want the CIA guys 100%. Because they're the ones with guns now.
Yep, there it is.
So it's literally as they're being let out, he literally just like blops one of them.
One of them puts their hand on his shoulder.
Yeah. Puts his hand on the shoulder. He looks at the hand and then looks at the guy, and then he droops, and then the guy like straightens up a bit and keeps walking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they just fucking he's the one manhandling Rasputin's body, so they don't really notice that Rasputin's not
exactly
cognizant of what's going on.
Yeah.
And so now, do we get a ritual space underneath Mission Command in Houston?
Yeah, but like classic kind of Nazi ritual space, so there's still computers and shit, but there's like there's those little like suction diodes on a pentagram.
Yeah, I picture they go to like the old command center. It's like, you know, they've it's like an abandoned building next door, but it looks like the classic NASA.
Yeah, like 1,000 CRT monitors on the wall, and everybody has an individual. That's what I wanted to pitch that, but I thought I would get yelled at about scope. But
then a pedestal in the front or the back of it for the yeah.
Oh no, in the front by the wall of monitors.
We comment about scope. We don't yell about scope. I love the idea of the CRT monitors.
Yes.
We listen and sometimes we judge. So it's all the big computers. We've got occult stuff maybe up on the screens and down below.
Yeah.
Or as the ritual commences, then cult stuff starts like piece by piece. Each screen
showing up on the screen. Yeah.
Either that, or there's there could be pictures of like planets, like the planets are aligning, or there is actually some sort of astrological thing happening rather than just.
Oh, it could be different planets and constellations on different screens until they all show one picture as they're aligning behind the moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of this shit. And just anything that looks cool, that's
it's just gotta look cool.
Monitors.
Cool space stuff on monitor. Got it.
All right. And so obviously when they're thrown to the ground, right? Because they're going to be the blood sacrifice. Is that when Rasputin tries to pull his move and then just immediately gets shot? And then wakes up in his body on the ground about to be sacrificed?
That'd be really fun.
And
Yeah.
you get his first words in English, which are, "Oh, fuck," as he gets stabbed in the heart.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I think he gets a couple with the CIA guy, but then he just gets boom shot in the head, wakes up in his own body as the Thule guy's coming down on him.
I think the NASA guy is the one that shoots him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he shouldn't have a gun for any reason.
Yeah. All right, and then Rasputin and the FBI agent get murdered. Moon explodes.
I think there has to be a bit more of a scuffle. Maybe the dead
Yeah.
CIA guy, his gun falls. FBI guy manages to get it. Try and get Rasputin to the clear.
Oh, and he starts holding. He holds the NASA guy hostage.
Yes.
And that's when NASA guy pulls out the gun, shoots Rasputin, elbows FBI guy in the fucking eye to knock his gun away. Because why would you check the NASA guy for a gun?
You could even have a little
And-
monologue about just like, I only really need one of your blood. Bang!
Yeah,
I would rather a knife, but whatever gets it out.
yeah. And then, okay, so yeah, so that scuffle works. So it starts with CIA guy / Rasputin, kicks it off, but he's not well versed with that body, so he instead of shooting the head of NASA, he shoots the dude next to him,
Mm-hmm.
which causes all the attention to swing to him.
Well, I think he just starts
He gets-
shooting the guys he thinks would have a gun.
Yeah, that makes
He
sense.
I mean, I
just
even
shoots
just
the
thought
other
he just
agents.
started shooting.
Yeah, okay. So he just starts shooting.
Yeah, he shoots a
And he
couple of
gets
them
shot.
before the NASA guy pulls a gun and shoots him in the head. Right.
Yeah, but we need the FBI guy to take him hostage. So he gets. So I think. Fuck. So he just said no. This is easy. He just picks up one of the guns off of one of the CIA guys who gets down.
The FBI guy does.
Yeah, the FBI. So one. Yeah. So he should. So Rasputin successfully, when he kicks it all off, caps one of the dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and all hell breaks loose. FBI guy rolls, grabs gun. As shit's starting to go south, grabs NASA guy, holds him hostage. NASA guy whips out his Derringer. In my head, it's a Derringer, even though I know it's not. It can't be a Derringer.
He rips out a Luger.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, yeah. He fucking like plops a Luger, puts one right in between Rasputin's possessed body, the one that the body he's possessing.
The body of the CIA agent. Yeah.
Yes. Elbows at the same time, like knocks the gun out of FBI guy's hand because he's startled by the gunshot and he has trigger discipline, so he didn't immediately blow the dude's brains out. That gun goes flying. Now NASA guy has the upper hand again.
All right.
They
All right, sorry,
put the boots-
I'm confused. All right, so Rasputin possesses one of the CIA agents. He shoots a couple of the guys. The NASA guy pulls a gun. The FBI picks up a gun off of a dead CIA agent.
Yeah, so reverse those. So the FBI agent picks up one of the guns almost immediately when Rasputin shoots him,
Mm-hmm.
and then as it looks like the other members of the Thule Society are going to gun down Rasputin, the FBI agent holds NASA guy hostage. NASA guy shoots Rasputin in the head and worms his way out of FBI agent's grasp, which allows his goons to get the drop on FBI guy, force him to the ground. Rasputin wakes up in the body on the ground to be sacrificed.
Wakes up in NASA body?
His body.
His
No,
own,
in his body.
His own body. Got it.
Yeah. Because we have his own body there already.
Okay. Oh no. All right. Sorry. You just kept saying he shoots Rasputin, but you meant as the CIA agent, not as.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Gotcha.
confusing to to speak about possession. In an abstract sense, when you're trying to map out an action scene. That's what I've learned today. Maybe if we just break it down into letters.
Well, basically, what I've been saying is like, at least in my notes, is every time I refer to the FBI, I say agent. Every time I refer to the CIA, I say operative.
See, that's way easier than most things. I was like going CR1 for CIA Rasputin the first time. It's like, all right, and then, yeah, and then so then the ritual. Then he completes the ritual, and the moon explodes. Is that where we are?
I think we need FBI guy to try and get in the way somehow.
Yeah, no, I
Because
think,
I think
FBI
the
has
moon
to get in the way.
explodes, but
Honestly,
the ritual-
I kind of thought like
That was him. I thought that was him taking the NASA guy hostage.
Well, my thought is maybe Rasputin is able to possess the NASA guy before, and then winds up getting shot himself. Like, so Rasputin's body is dead, but he's in the NASA guy. The FBI guy kills the NASA guy, completing the blood sacrifice.
It could be a thing where when Rasputin wakes back up in his own body, the knife is coming down and Rasputin grabs the fucking hand, takes over NASA guy's body, but FBI guy doesn't see that, so he just sees, yeah. So he then tries to stop the situation.
So where is FBI guy until this point?
Just knocked out in the corner.
He's unconscious. Okay.
Yeah. So he dives in there, right, to stop the blood sacrifice that Rasputin was already about to stop because he just took over that body. And when he tackles him, the fucking knife he's holding goes right into Rasputin's heart. But then oh yeah, but then it wouldn't matter because that would be the blood sacrifice.
I kind of lost you on that. So yeah.
Rasputin wakes up on the altar, right? He's about to be sacrificed, so you have NASA man stabbing down with a ritual dagger. He has Rasputin grabs NASA guy's hand to stop him, but also takes possession of NASA guy, right? As this is happening, FBI guy comes to, sees what's happening, and tackles NASA guy, who is now Rasputin. As he tackles him, the ritual dagger that NASA guy, now Rasputin, is holding ends up stabbing him in the heart and killing him, thus completing the blood sacrifice.
What if it's like, I'm just picturing like the NASA guy has the knife up, well above his head to stab down onto Rasputin. Rasputin touches his stomach and possesses him and still has the knife over his head. And then the FBI guy shoots the NASA guy right through the head, like nice big splat out the forehead. And then the knife falls and hits them rather than like a scuffling, wrestling kind of fight.
Well, I just don't know how he would have a gun if we had him knocked out.
Was it not in the same room that the CIA agents? Were they not in this room already?
I mean, they were, but I just feel like even if you knock somebody out, like, you wouldn't leave a gun lying near them.
Maybe it's the Derringer.
It's the second shot from the Derringer.
Or maybe it's just like it's a Derringer. Maybe he has like a an ankle gun or
it's his backup piece. Yeah, that works.
yeah.
And then when he shoots him through the head, it shatters one of the main screens behind on the big screen wall, and they all just kind of ripple out, shattering.
That's kind of fun. I didn't really think of it that way, but maybe all of them explode when the blood sacrifice is completed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a big wall of screens. We might as well blow it up.
Yeah, the knife falls, and then every tube in all of the CRT televisions just.
Hell yeah.
And then the moon explodes.
Yeah, and then the moon explodes.
Is Rasputin fully dead at this point, and it's just the FBI agent left?
No, because Rasputin would revert back to the body on the table.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
when
maybe he doesn't
Sebastian
have to
drops
be dead,
the knife,
it's just his blood.
Oh yeah, no, he no. Well, no, it doesn't have to be Rasputin's blood, right? It's killing the
Any
NASA
sacrifice
guy.
will do.
Yeah, so he kills the NASA guy. But it's just that when he kills him, he's in the ritual space. So when his body hits the ground and starts bleeding, that's the blood sacrifice. Rasputin wakes up, looks, and goes, Doomkopf! Everything blows up, or whatever. What idiot in Russian that'd be? Doomkopf is German.
Yes, German. Yeah.
But literally just says idiot, and then all of the CRTs. Yeah. Then all the CRTs blow up.
Suka bliat!
American cowboys, as he spits at the ground.
Moon blows up. What happened? I thought we stopped it. No, you didn't.
Yet.
Oh, then he wakes up on the table and he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, more or less. That's my thought. Is that he like their last moments are literally him just being like, "You fucking idiot."
Oh fuck.
We end on shot. State Penitentiary, Texas, day.
A security guard runs in, sweating, trying to tell the other inmates what's happening. A chunk of moon rock takes his head.
Yeah.
Smooth off.
Smooth off.
Blows his head.
Yeah.
Smooth off.
Don't blow his head smooth off. What was his name?
Although it could be a
Gorgeous
fun mid-credits. They're
James?
back at the gas station. Rasputin's eating more Snickers.
If world is going to end, no reason to count calories.
Well, the one thing that I really thought would be interesting is if he is the immortal Rasputin and he doesn't want the world to end because he won't die.
That's pretty fun.
That's what he says after the moon explodes. Yeah.
I am Rasputin.
Do you understand?
And that's
I
the
have
end
been
credits.
alive
It shows the
for
world in
700
chunks,
years.
and we just see Rasputin just rotating through space, looking upset.
Bored.
Yeah, arms crossed, bored.
I like that.
Oh, I'm glad you like that because you want to summarize the movie for me there, Zach?
Yeah,
No,
Zach,
I
I think
don't.
this is a perfect thing for you, for your idea that you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, this was your idea.
Yeah.
Didn't I do last week?
No,
No, Ben did last
I
week.
did last week.
Ben did last week?
I did.
I don't believe you, but okay. Ugh. Okay. CIA versus FBI. Omega Blood Moon. CIA versus FBI. Friday. Sometime. FBI.
August 7th, 1996.
Sure. Judgment
No,
Day.
no. August 8th, 1996. August 7th is a terrible idea. Just dreadful idea.
So we start off with the FBI raid, right? FBI raids a fancy American hotel and captures Rasputin. Or do we start off in a CIA briefing room where they're talking about the operation to get him in Russia?
Arrest first.
Yeah, it's
then,
the arrest, and then he's
him...
in the cell, and then we go to the CIA, who gets information about him being in Russia while he's meditating already at the FBI. Or no, sorry, while he's meditating when the FBI come and get him. So the FBI wakes him up. And he's just in their cell. Then we cut to Saturday. Now it's Saturday. The CIA raids a compound and kills Rasputin, who they believe to be Rasputin, looks like Rasputin. They fingerprint him. They DNA him. Everything matches Rasputin. They put the body in a body bag in a black site and store it. While this is going on, during the raid, we continuously cut to Rasputin in the FBI cell meditating as the concurrent wounds appear on his body. He starts bleeding through different parts, concurrent with the damage taken by the body in the CIA situation. And the FBI, one of the FBI investigators starts to put it together. He starts questioning what's going on. The FBI reruns the prints on... Then Sunday comes. The CIA calls to gloat. The FBI continues to keep Rasputin a secret, but reruns his prints in order to make sure it's him, alerting the CIA. The CIA starts to suspect something going on. They re-investigate the body, realize it's not him at all. Not the prints don't match, nothing matches. They're astounded, flabbergasted. They send suits to Plano, Texas, the field office of the FBI where Rasputin is being held. Before anything really goes on, they immediately start a judicial fight.
Jurisdiction.
A fight over a jurisdictional fight, yes. The FBI goes back into the... FBI agent goes back into the interrogation room and asks why the CIA thinks that they killed him. Rasputin begins speaking to him telepathically, using we language. They don't have enough time. We don't. We can't. That kind of thing. The CIA, and this is on Monday. I think we kind of lost track of days after this, but the CIA tries to break. We show concurrently while he's speaking to him telepathically, we see that the CIA is planning to kidnap him, essentially to break into the FBI and take him. And there's a NASA guy there present while they're planning the raid. And we show the raid. The CIA squad comes in.
For extraordinary rendition.
Sure. Is that really what that
is?
is?
That's the technical term, yeah.
In our country?
Yeah, because the CIA isn't allowed to operate in our country, so
that would technically
or at least
be
at the time.
rendition.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I just like saying the words extraordinary.
It's a very fun word. The CIA kill squad comes in. The FBI agent, takes Rasputin kind of against his will, and they escape. They're forced to hide out in a cultist area. They use a ham radio to communicate with other cultists and let them know what's going on. Or maybe they use the ham radio to find the cultist hideout. I wasn't sure on that.
I believe it was to find.
Okay, to find the cultist hideout.
It's like a call and response code.
Right. just write
That's all constellation based.
code based on constellations. Based on constellation. So then the NASA monitors this frequency, hears the plans. The CIA with the NASA guy attack the compound. Or no, is he not?
No,
with them?
it's the NASA guy and his cult members. No CIA this time.
Okay, no CIA.
Yeah.
NASA and Thule cult.
Yep.
They attack the compound. Agent and Rasputin once again escape and head to Houston. But what happens is Rasputin possesses the FBI agent and drives to NASA. The FBI agent comes to once they've reached NASA. They bluff their way in using FBI credentials
And a windbreaker.
and a windbreaker. Disguise.
He has windbreaker options for the guy. You can either go with navy blue or black. Navy
Is Ben talking to us?
or black. Sorry, I was far away from my microphone.
Okay, that's what I thought. What are you saying?
You can go with navy blue or black. Navy
Blue, yellow lettering,
black.
classic.
Got it. So they make their way in with the use of credentials into disguise. They get stopped a second time, and just when the FBI agent starts to think that he's going to have to shoot his way out of this, Helt arrives and stops the guard, and then he escorts them out. This time he does have CIA agents?
No, so
No
they're
more
trying
CIA.
to break into Helt's office,
Oh, okay.
and the security guard shows up, and then Helt comes in and is like, "Gentlemen, I've been waiting for you. God, I apologize for locking the door," and pops it open and motions them in. So they take a seat, and then he monologues.
And that's when they get stopped by the guard.
Yep.
And then eventually Helt comes and stops the guard from removing them. And then and then the CIA members do show up. They quickly follow behind him, right?
Yeah, more or less. He has enough time for a monologue, slaps a silent alarm somewhere on his desk.
And then the CIA guys walk in behind them.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. And then the CIA and NASA capture them and bring them to the old NASA command center nearby, the abandoned NASA command center nearby that has been decked out for ritual sacrifice.
Yep.
Rasputin possesses one of the CIA agents and then shoots a couple of the CIA agents and allows the FBI agent to take a gun from one of the CIA agents or operatives. And then the NASA guy pulls a gun.
Yeah, FBI guy.
FBI
grabs
holds
gun,
NASA at
holds-
gunpoint.
Yep.
The NASA guy still shoots the operative that's been possessed. And then is able to knock out the FBI agent.
Yep.
And then
Give him the old elbow to the temple.
right, and then Rasputin wakes up on the altar. And as he does, the NASA guy is preparing to sacrifice him. He's raising the dagger. The dagger's raised over his head. The FBI agent comes to and shoots the NASA guy, which actually completes the ritual sacrifice. Oh, wait, no. NASA has the dagger raised above his head. Rasputin comes to and possesses him. Then the FBI agent, which means that Rasputin would have been safe, but then the FBI agent shoots the NASA guy which gets blood on the altar, completing the blood sacrifice. And then Rasputin says, "Oh, fuck," and explains why this was a bad thing. The moon explodes.
Yes.
All right, that's it.
Cut to Rasputin floating through space.
Oh yeah,
looking
cut to Rasputin
unhappy.
floating through space.
Yes. Yup.
There it is.
That is it. Our longest recording session. I'm gonna have to cut so much.
I believe in you and I
Yeah,
love
real
you.
Sorry about that, bud.
Oh, that's fine. You want to know why you had to do the summary this week? Because you badmouthed James Spader.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
fuck
you
that guy.
definitely did it last week too. Okay,
Yeah,
so it sounds like
yeah,
you're doing it for the next
100%.
couple weeks.
And thank you for listening to the Mega Blood Moon podcast. If you want to check out our socials, you can head over to www.megabloodmoon.com. There you'll find a listing of everything, our Instagram, our TikTok, even our Blue Sky, but I'm not sure if we know how to update that because I'm not sure if anybody uses Blue Sky. Our first movie, Mega Blood Moon Freelancer, is now available on Google Play, Amazon, and several other streaming services whose names are so obscure I don't even know them. Be sure that if you want to watch it, you can find it. And now, for the most important part. You're listening to this podcast. Hopefully you've listened all the way to the end. What we would love if you could rate and review us on whatever platform that you found us on, whether it's iTunes, iBuy, Power, PCs, it could have been Podchaser, Podcaster, Rainfall. Sometimes our words are carried on the wind, but this is key. I don't understand why. I am just a simulated computer program, so things like reviews and 5-star ratings mean nothing to me, but they mean everything to the men who are tirelessly putting together this podcast, especially a long one like this. You wouldn't even imagine. But remember, there's no fate but what you make it, as Sarah Connor once said, and she is a well-known liar. You are fated to rate this podcast, and you are fated to give us a good review. That way that more people can listen to what you just experienced. Take care, and always keep an eye on the skies.